right. So this is my Special Forces Season 2, Episode 8, aka the season finale. And this was a fun episode. A bit of on a crappy side in some ways, but for the most part it was fun. Or at least it was for the interrogators. They were having a blast. Anyway, so they have been captured. They're now entering interrogation. First, they meet the umpire, and before we continued, they showed all the names of the interrogators. The two bald guys, which they look like twins to me. So I think one was Dixie, and the other one was, I'm not sure now what the other guy's name was. Oops. Um, but the girl, I don't know, maybe because her hair is more kept than the other one or longer or but I don't know if this was the same girl. I mean, it could be. I really don't remember the girl from this first season, but so So they all get processed. The umpire introduces himself. He is still obviously working in the field because they're still not showing his face. Maybe someday they will, or maybe the whole point is whenever he retires, they'll just find someone else to do this show because of the mystery of the umpire or something. I don't know. But anyway, so everyone is told, okay, if you want to quit, just say you want to see the umpire. All right, fine. So everybody then goes, and I just find it hilarious that the disturbing sounds that they put, besides a crying baby, which, yes, after a while they can be super annoying, is dial up. I don't know. I just find that hilarious because anybody of a certain age would, you know, be able to tune that out because, they grew up with dealing with that crap. So, I mean, yeah, I guess if you don't know how to tune out noises and basically space out, I guess even that would be irritating, but I would like to think that dial up wouldn't bother me. Baby crying, I would probably be ready to kill someone at some point, but yeah. So, first they encounter that. And one by one, they are seen by the interrogators. Now, the female interrogator, and I'm sorry, I missed her name. She has the pleasure of interrogating Tyler. And Tyler is being sweet and he's being flirty up until the point he says that and she's just taken aback, but it's not, alarm, 5 o'clock alarm bells. It's, you know, until he says that she has pretty lips. Okay, first off, Tyler. Um, what the hell? First off, I mean, he probably should have said, when she said, "Do you think I've chapped lips?" Say something like, "Well, sometimes my lips feel chapped even when they're not," or, you know, it's not for me to tell that because, you can feel your lips chapping before people will see it. You don't have to wait for it to be cracked and bleeding. But yeah, you didn't have to say you have pretty lips, because those aren't mutually exclusive. Because yes, if they're, chapped to the point of bleeding, yeah, they're not very attractive. But if they're just a little chapped, anyway, he done fucked up. And they dunked his head into this trawl of water. And basically they explained how, you shouldn't be inappropriate to the female interrogators. I request that this should be the punishment of every creepy guy. Please let this be the punishment of every creepy guy, especially incels, because maybe they'll be quicker to get a fucking clue if that were the case. If they were actually punished for being absolutely horrible people. So, he ends up getting punished. Then we see JoJo with her interrogator, who happens to be male. And, she's willing to admit she's a celebrity. It's more like, yeah, I'm a celebrity, even though, that's not something that, I should be saying. And so she mentioned that her friends are mostly celebrities, and then she name drops Elton John. And Rudy, I thought, was going to swallow his tongue. He was like, wait, what? Did you just say Elton John? And because, she's been in the biz all her life, so I guess it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that she would have met Elton John at some point. And so then we have Erin, who she got through the processing phase just fine. No hiccups, no problems. And Nick seemed to do just fine. The interrogator took a Sharpie to all of his tattoos, which I thought was weird, but okay. So, and instead of being given their clothes like in the first season, they were given jumpsuits, like they're prisoners. So, I don't know if this was to ratchet up the interrogation that they saw what happened last season. They're like, we could make this even more cruel. Because it even says that, yeah, we do things that aren't allowed under the Geneva Convention. At least they admit it. So they probably are like, how can we make this worse? So everybody seems to get through the first phase of this, except for Tom. He's shaking like a leaf and saying how cold he is. Heck, at the very beginning, he tried to put his gloves on. And the interrogator's like, did I say you could put your gloves on? I'm cold. Yeah, so. And so they decide to have the doctor look at him for signs of hypothermia. He goes to see the doctor, and immediately Rudy notices that he isn't shaking anymore. Because let's face it, if you're really that damn cold, you don't just stop shivering like that. you're going to still be shivering. Maybe not as much, depending on the room he's in. It might not be warm, but it could be warmer, so it's possible that you might not shiver as much, but you're still going to be shivering. You're not going to just suddenly stop on a dime. That's not how shivering works. Especially if you're shivering to the point that people are worried that you have hypothermia. You're definitely not going to stop shivering on a dime. So they realize immediately that he was acting this whole time, and that pisses everybody off. So they send him back, and he goes into processing. And he mumbles when the interrogator talks to him. And now, in this regard, they say he was antagonizing the interrogator. I didn't see that. I just saw someone who just isn't good about talking about themselves. Like, the fact that his nails are painted. It's like, I guess that's my thing. Okay. That doesn't tell him anything, but, at the same time, what is he supposed to say about the fact that he paints his nails? I mean, I don't know what he was expecting. Was he expecting Tom to say something? Well, first off, he just said his name Tom. He didn't say Tom Sandoval. I don't know, maybe he has it in his head that everybody knows who he freaking is. And so he didn't want things to go worse if they found out about him because of Scandival, because in his head, everybody on the freaking planet knows who he is, which is not true. So yeah. On the one hand, yeah, what exactly was he supposed to say about that? Besides, maybe, I just like painting my nails. Maybe that's all you needed to say. That I like painting my nails. Okay, fine. So they decide right then and there. They didn't give him the opportunity to do the Dwight Howard thing of, I'm ready to die, which was really weird. They just decided, I'm pulling you right now. So the umpire comes and tells him that. Because Foxy was talking about how that some people might pretend that they need medical help, that they need to medically withdraw, because they don't want to out and out quit. Based on Tom's response to being told he was being removed, I don't think that was actually his strategy. I think his strategy was actually to have the interrogators take pity on him, because I guess he thought that they wouldn't abuse him as much if they saw him as weak. When in reality, if you listen to the interrogators and DS, you're supposed to be seen as an asset. They need a reason to keep you around. And so that ain't it. And this was something that was discussed last season. So all you would have to do is have watched last season to know that acting weak is not the way to go. I mean, acting like you could take on all the interrogators on by yourself, not a good plan either, but not being weak, because they won't see a reason to have you around. So that's probably why they pulled him. He's being seen as weak, and they were probably still pissed off that he was making up the fact that he had hypothermia. So he's gone. So then it's down to JoJo, Aaron, and Tyler and Nick. So, they go back into the storage container from hell. I mean, it looked like to me like they were in a storage container, not any traditional building. It was a storage container. And JoJo just was having so much trouble. She's like, I miss my family. I want to go home. And Rudy is just freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I think she's going to quit. And he's there with the female interrogator. And she's also, you could see the shock on her face. Now, I don't know if it's because Rudy or any of the DS told her how tough she is, or I'm terrible with ages. Maybe she's old enough to have children who would listen to her JoJo's music, so she might know something about her, or be an auntie, and have nieces and nephews who are JoJo Siwa fans. But she seemed to be really surprised, just as Rudy was, that she was quitting. She's like, I want to talk to the umpire. She is trying to talk herself into that this was the right decision. I'm pretty sure that watching this back, she's probably kicking herself from here to eternity that she quit when she did. Because she was so close. She was the one who kept everyone else's spirits up. And she's the one who's like, yeah, I've had enough. She was like, I wanted to concentrate on my personal life instead of my professional life. And you could see Rudy was so proud of her. And unlike Tom, which maybe they saw him off, but they just didn't show it. Like last season, Remy was talking to Dwight Howard, and Dwight's like, yeah, she was annoying me. It's like, yeah, that's kind of their job. And you didn't see anything with Tom. They didn't show it at all. So I don't know. I assume it happened, and we just did not see it. So the interaction probably wasn't much of anything. So they said their goodbyes to JoJo. And so then it went down to 3. So the interrogators are trying their damnedest to poke holes to the cover story. And Tyler had what looked like sawdust, green sawdust, poured over him. That's what it looked like to me. Nick was handling himself quite well. He's right. Working in sales or retail, you learn how to deal with situations where things could escalate to stupid levels. So, yeah, I can believe that he's quite adept at diffusing a situation which could get out of hand really quick. I can't remember if it was Nick or Tyler. I think it was Nick who, when the interrogator asked him if he wanted to start something with him, and he's like, no, I would never consider doing that with you. And I'm sure that was truthful. I'm sure it wasn't just him trying to placate the interrogator. He probably was like, no, this is true. I really don't want to get involved with this. So they seem to handle themselves quite well with the cover story, and even though they weren't believed, they seem to be handling themselves well. Then there was Aaron. Now, she was handling herself very well, but what got her in trouble was she saw that the interrogator was going to throw water at her, and she stopped her. She's like, block. And so she was pissed. She's like, you don't touch me. And, you could see, though, in Erin's eyes that she was supposed to be intimidating. It wasn't working. That's gotta suck for interrogators that they're trying to be, intimidating, and you're just like, okay, whatever you say. Um, she's probably been tossed around harder at roller derby than what that interrogator was doing. So, yeah. So they decide to use her fear of water to their advantage. So they take her out to the trough, and they make it seem like they're going to throw her into deep water, to get her to talk, to get her to tell the truth. And so she finally admitted that she's with special forces, and everybody in the at the monitors were cheering that she finally said it, that she knows when she's been beat. And so I thought that because she admitted it, that they would just automatically go up to the guys and either give them the opportunity to fess up that there was special forces, or that they were going to say, oh yeah, your friend Erin told us everything. We know you're with special forces, or something. But no, they gave each of them an opportunity to say that there were special forces. And how do they do that? They play a game. And like I said, that those interrogators were having way too much fun with this game. So whenever, and it seemed like, regardless of whether they raised their hands or not, they were getting doused with water. They didn't even give them a chance to say anything. And Tyler was freezing his ass off. I mean, he was shivering even before he got wet. Nick seemed a bit more okay, but, Wisconsinite. So you would expect that he'd be a bit more hardy. I don't know if he still lives in Wisconsin and how long it's been, but some people just reacclimate to cold weather very easy. So, finally they were given an opportunity to go separately with the interrogator and admit that there was special forces. So it's like, yay! They finally admitted it. And I really thought, they're standing there, about to be doused with water. They're going to be playing a game with the interrogator, while Erin is sitting in front of them eating a steak. Now, how is it that neither of them questioned that, wait, Erin, what did you tell them? Did you admit that we're with special forces? I mean, seriously, did it never occur to them that, oh, Erin told them that she's with special forces. Maybe we should admit it too. I don't know why it took them that long. I question their intelligence. I really do. I mean, I realize that they're trying to be tough guys. They're trying to tough it out as long as possible, but Jesus Christ, Erin is sitting there eating a steak. Do you really, really think that she wouldn't be up there with you guys if she hadn't given up the mission? I was just like, oh my God, you guys, you're not very bright. I mean, you'd think that Aaron would have at least attempted to mouth to them or something. It's like, I told them. I told them we're with Special Forces. You can, admit it now. Something, anything. They didn't need to be tortured like that. They could have, figured it out. And it's like, yeah, the reason they're calling us a liar is because they obviously know. It shouldn't have come to that. It should have just been like, yeah, Erin's over there, so she obviously told you everything, so we might as well admit it. Well, maybe Tyler didn't realize it because he was just shivering uncontrollably. I mean, unlike Tom, who was pretending to shiver, Tyler was shivering truly uncontrollably. So now everybody, as the three of them have all admitted it, and so now they have to go back to the storage container and wait to be called out. They go out to the I don't remember what they call it, and take off their hoods, and they're deciding whether all three of them are going to have what it takes to be a Special Forces to be in Special Forces. And they drag it out super long. The DS is talking amongst themselves, does this person have what it takes? Does that person, going over everything that's happened, and then they basically rehash it to the recruits. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this could have gone so much faster. And I really was thinking, please don't be a dick. Please don't be a dick. Just say that all three of them can make it. So, and they all did. And then they end up standing on top of one of the mountain ranges. And I'm just like, okay, in the first season, you actually saw them getting on a helicopter and leaving. This time you did not see that. So I'm like, I assume there's going to be a helicopter to pick you up. Because, what the hell? I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful last shot. Because I wasn't paying so much attention to the hugs and all of that they again were doing at the top of the mountain. I was admiring the view because it was a beautiful view. So that's how it ended. It ended with all of them smiling, having a good time on the top of a mountain. It's like, yeah, that's the exact same thing you did at camp. Okay, what did somebody tell you? Oh, we have all this time to kill. I mean, what? I don't know. But, so, except for that ending, which just dragged, it was a very fun episode. I was really, really enjoying it. And the interrogators having way too much fun interrogating the celebrities. And of course, Erin, even though this was the wrong thing to do, because it just pissed off the interrogator, Erin, noticing that she was about to splash her with water, stopped her. I mean, yeah. That was cool. Granted, that was the wrong thing to do, but it was still very cool that she was able to do that. Let me think if there's anything else. Yeah, I really hope there's a season 3. This has been fun. And it's nice that they noticed that, okay, we were told that celebrities are super coddled. American celebrities are super coddled, so we shouldn't be um as forceful as we might be. And this season they ratcheted it up. They were like, "Yeah, we're going to bring even more pain to you guys." Um, I believe that's all I have. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video.